All right, you're welcome back to the show. It is Open Access, and this is the segment where we get interactive with you viewers at home as you get to call into the studio and be part of the conversation. You call in and you can send your SMS and your WhatsApp messages. The numbers have been shown on your screen. I will keep showing them to you. 081-1266-8143 is the studio line to call. 081-1266-8143, and you can send your SMS and your WhatsApp messages to 080-330-65681, 0909-08-700-65. And you can join us on all our social media platforms as well. Those are the numbers on your screen. The topic for today's Open Access is alleged clampdown on laptop carrying public residents by the police. For some strange reason, the Nigerian police equates carrying the laptop or using the mobile phone as a sign or as a proof that one has become a fraudster. So it would seem, especially from the side of Nigerians that have been subjected to such harassment by the Nigerian police of late. That is a harsh reality, but is that surely the true picture of what it is, especially from the technology sector, where we have our young techies who cannot do without their laptops or their smartphones, especially to carry out their jobs or to do the various applications that we all have been so accustomed to in our society. Where is this confusion coming from? Nigeria police, are they aware enough? Are we telling them enough? Do they know enough to know who is who? Of course, we have a legal practitioner here. He's told me something very strange just before we came on air. He's going to repeat it to everyone. To everyone. Mr. Bosnu Ashifowora is here. He's a legal practitioner, of course, who better to take us through the laws that guide Nigerian police force with regard to arrest and talking to people. Good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning. It's good to have you here again. Romeli has, said it all. For some strange reasons, police will see young men carrying laptops or, bearing flash drives, and the next thing is, hey, what are you using this thing for? Even when they cannot operate those things, it's that bad. And we've had reports, people have been complaining about that, and we've had, confrontation between the police and those young men too in the past. What is the position of the law as regards all of this?
All right.
Say it now.
The law is the law, and the law is there to guide. We have different laws, but they all work together for one purpose. All right. What we have, the Administration of Criminal Justice law. We have Lagos State, we have the federal level as well. Basically, the law gives police the permission that where there's a reasonable suspicion or where there's a reasonable reason to suspect that the person that is going, even without a warrant, he just feels that, he's the policeman. He's backed by the law, and he feels that, okay, this guy that is going, I suspect. That's at his own discretion that this person has some criminal elements on him. Then he can stop the person and search the person. That's the law. It's as simple as that. But let's take it a step further.
Search, not harass.
There's no law that gives you permission to harass. Never. No part of life or in this world will a law be put in place to. The law is there to serve you. You're not under.
That's the policeman must be very, very cautious.
That's why I'm saying let's take it a bit further. Now, the law is made for a reasonable police officer as well. It's expected that, okay, you have the backing of the law, you have the backing of the state, and you have the right to actually stop this person and search to prevent crime or commission of sin. Now, the law now goes further to say that where there is a female, for example, the person must be searched by a female or person of the same sex, and they put it there with utmost sense of decency. So decency already knocks out any form of harassment. That's as far as that goes. Now, the law further states there are other provisions there, but what we have now is we have a police that is largely uninformed and with all sense of responsibility, majority, apart from those at the top, largely uninformed, largely uneducated, largely they don't know how things work. I'll tell you a personal experience. My younger cousin was accosted by police sometime last year, and it was this laptop thing, and he called me like, "Boss, come and see your people." It was someone's really where I stay, so I had to go there. And what I met them saying was that we are open to Yahoo. I'm like, Christ, what is this? At the end of the day, I spoke with them. They were like, "I God save you, say your brother." I said, "It's my laptop." I actually sent him to go and effect repairs on it. So what we have is a police that is very uninformed about developments. In fact, fraud and internet fraud has gone beyond even carrying laptops. Now, but that's what they know. Fine. To an extent, they've been able to apprehend a few. Now, but that is not enough to generalize that everybody carrying laptop is a fraudster. That is a law on the part of the police. So, and that is not the way it should be. That is not what then going to harassment. Harassment is second level. You know, stopping and searching is one. Harassing you and telling you to, they don't have a right. In fact, what the law now says is that when you're stopped by the police to search you, the police is supposed to tell you right on the spot that, one, you have a right to be silent, not to say anything on that spot where they stopped you. They will tell you you have a right for your lawyer to come, and right to be quiet or silent until your lawyer comes before you say anything.
These are parts in the movies where you see they're reading your rights.
We only see that in the movies. But beyond movies, we don't see it in reality. Now, we've had cases, I've been to some places. My early days when I started, I think it was the EFCC. We got there, the client came with me, the lawyer, and they were like, "No, go out." I said, "Go out." Meanwhile, my boss already told me that, "Boss, once you get there, they cannot do you anything. No lawyer goes to jail with his client. If they say anything, say it back." So I stood there. Today is today. I will not go. You know what they did? We got there like 9. They kept us there because they felt I was rude to them. We didn't write anything. They left my client. They let that. Maybe you want to do a GDIB and stay there. You know, they didn't. From that 9 o'clock, they attended to us. Even they were about to close, so they too wanted to go. They wanted to punish me, but at the same time, they were punishing themselves. So by 5:45, they now called us to come. I read my time magazine. I had to pause now. Like, I said, "No problem. I'll stay here. My baby is reading." I was just trying to fall, but inside me, I was dying. Like, what is this?
All right, viewers, you can be part of the show. 081-1266-8143 is the number to call. The numbers are on your screen now. Be sure to call in. Let us talk with the lawyer. Let's see how we can begin to at least defend ourselves. You said the police have the rights to search us. So you're stopped
on reasonable suspicion.
You see,
so
what is the
unreasonable? It's quite subjective. That was why I said it. That it's quite subjective. But the fact is that he's a policeman. Let's look at it from a simple point of view. There are instances where they've actually nicked crime in the bud. There are instances where they've stopped, prevented the commission of a crime on this same reasonable suspicion. But you see, some of their colleagues, or majority of them, have taken it to another level.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, sir.
Let's go.
We didn't get that. Could you repeat? Hello? Could you repeat it again? Sorry.
We got where you're calling from. Ikorodu. What's the name, please?
Kayode calling from Ikorodu.
Kayode from Ikorodu.
All right.
Okay. Do you have an experience you want to share?
I'd like to contribute to the program.
Okay,
right. Go ahead.
I think police lack motivation and they lack knowledge too. There's no proper training for our police officers now. They're just harassing anybody anyhow. Once you carry laptop, they feel Yahoo boy. Like one of my friends, a friend told me, I think last week, I was asked by police officer along Ojodu insurgent aside. So this guy was forced to open his laptop. Nothing was found on his laptop, and they even harassed him. Everything they did him. They carried police because nothing was found on him. But I don't deny they even collecting money for him. And all this thing is not good, man. You know, this Nigeria, we're not Nigeria. Why are these people behaving like this? They're Nigerian like us. And we are not foreigners. This is our own country. And they are treating us like
I think that's...
all right, thank you, Kayode.
Thank you.
If I could come in there.
Okay.
Basically, like I said, no police is allowed to harass you. Then taking it further, if they say what is in your bag, the search is limited to what's in the bag. If you've shown them laptop, the police hasn't, now speaking law, the police hasn't got a right to tell you to open and...
I say open to Yahoo.
Yes, and open to Yahoo or open, they want to know the content of the laptop. That is an advanced level. But you see, wisdom is profitable to direct. It's not, sometimes you know the law, sometimes the law favors you, but you have to look at the person you're talking to. You're dealing with. I have seen a policeman in the morning that was drunk. No disrespect to the decent ones. I've met decent policemen. I've met wonderful policemen that I even offered to, because I was impressed by the action, I wanted to give money, and they were like, no.
Okay, let's make this call.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Arogundade Taiwo.
Arogundade Taiwo. From where, please?
Yes, from Ikpaja, Lagos.
From Ikpaja. All right. You're welcome to the show.
Yes.
All right. You want to tell us your experience?
For the topic we brought to this thing this morning. Very interesting topic.
Thank you.
Yes, at least we need to caution our Nigerian police. They do go beyond their responsibility.
Okay.
Yes. Carrying a laptop, as I'm talking now, there's a 40, my daughter's laptop was 40, and I'm afraid to carry it out to the computer village for repair.
Okay.
Why?
Because very to my junction here at Yanokola, they do come there every blessed day. Whoever they see with laptop, even they go beyond the laptop, they will ask you to open your phone to see the content. Can you imagine? See that our Nigerian police needs to go for extraordinary training in dealing with the public.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Arugulade from Ikpaja.
Extraordinary training, he said. That area is actually notorious.
It's everywhere.
Ikpaja, Igodo, all that.
They know you're coming towards Computer Village. So, in fact, that is another spot. You see the motive, sincerely speaking, the motive is extortion. All this harassment and stopping you, they know you don't want wahala, and so by the time they delay you or by the time they harass you, you part with something. That's why I said we must say this with all sense of responsibility. No disrespect to the decent ones, but you see, they say that something spoiled the brute. The bad one, you know, they give the generality a bad name. That's basically what it is.
The ones are usually not found on the roads. It looks like it's become some sort of a booming market, and they just push the ones who are very good at extorting money out on the roads.
Someone gave me an analysis. It's quite extreme. It's not supposed to be, but he said someone who has been standing under the sun, under the rain, that the sun had beat sense out of him. So if he comes, you know, rashly at you, it's understandable. That is no excuse for the bad behavior, but really, they are armed with the position that everybody carrying a sophisticated phone or a laptop is a fraudster. It's, I mean, what we call in local parlance, Yahoo Yahoo. And it's not supposed to be. Police is supposed to accord you necessary respect. And also you're supposed to accord them the same respect. Because I've seen people, they just feel that they go rash on the police. And it's not supposed to be. In fact, by the law, even citizens have rights to, you know, get the police to, if they suspect that someone is going, get the police to effect arrest, or people who carry things like that. Because you can say, people carry bags. You don't know what's in it. Let's maybe something start now, like a fracas or something. You see people bringing out weapons. Well, you're asking questions. Where did they get all of this weapons from? Some of these things. So it's in the course of doing their job that they apprehend such persons. But I think a level of decency should be used or employed by the police in doing this, because the harassment, sincerely speaking, the harassment is too much, and sometimes it can be tiring. Some people don't want to, you know, bust out talking to them, but there's a way they go about it that sometimes you lash out at them, and woe betide you if you do that. In fact, the SARS, those ones are like a horrible case.
Entirely. So as a lawyer, what would you advise that an innocent Nigerian, you know, should do at a point like that? You know, they said you have a right to remain, you know, silent till your lawyer comes. If you don't have a lawyer anywhere and you're carrying
that right is academical. Before these guys, sincerely speaking, they'll slap you to talk. I've seen it. These are things. This is a reality. We could talk law and run away from reality, but what our advice is, be as courteous as possible to them. Good morning, officer. How are you? First, identify yourself.
Not even when you are as frustrated as the policeman himself, because you said it earlier that most of them
you have to bury your frustration.
Everybody's frustrated.
We have seen. Do you have an extra life at all? We have seen people die for doing nothing. That's why I said wisdom is profitable to die. We can go all law, and like, this is what the law say, I know my right. But this guys, you have to also size the person you're dealing with. Some of them are, I've had cases. There was a time. This was 2000.
You mentioned one who was drunk early in the morning.
This was. I was going to go back to that. 2007. I was working at the National Assembly. So I was going to catch a flight from my end. So I was on a bike. I had my bag. I go on Mondays. I was working with Senator Gani Solomon. So as his legislative aide. So I had my bag. I was rushing to the airport, coming in from the end of towards Soya. And this guy stopped me, saw a bag, he was like, what's in this bag? I brought out my bag, opened the bag. He said, what's this? I brought out CVs. He said, what are you doing with this? I said, the CV. He said, what's this? I said, CV. He said, are you an employer? I said, no. That my boss is. It's for people looking for a job. He said, these are illegal documents.
CVs.
In the morning. By the time I got closer to him, I saw that he was drunk. So I now asked. Now this is what I always tell him.
A resume is an illegal document.
He didn't know. He saw people's name. He said, "What's your name?" I mentioned my name. He saw different names. He said, "These are people's names. This is illegal document." He didn't know what CVs are. And meanwhile, I was pressed for time. So I told him, "Then don't show the police that you're in a hurry. Just come." Sincerely, from my own experience, this is a personal experience. So I told him that, okay, then ask for a superior officer. The superior is always more knowledgeable than the lower.
Some of them take that as being rude too.
No. I told him no. There's a way you conduct yourself. Then also your own dressing matters. If I come to the studio with dreadlocks and what if you're
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello, is anybody there? The same policeman won't stop me if I'm dressed like this with my laptop.
Is it a crime to have dreads?
It's not a crime. It's not a crime, but appearance matters. Appearance matters. Right. If I have that kind of appearance, I will be the most courteous person going. If I'm dealing with a police.
You know why I'm asking this question? Because as a musician, for an instance, or you're in the showbiz business, and because of the job you do, you dress in a certain way. Is that enough license for
you're dealing with somebody who has already stereotyped you, that he feels that the person with dreadlock wearing, you know, rugged jeans.
So you have to be dealing with it from his mindset.
Yes, you have to work with it. If he shoots you, that is the end of it. We've been here severally. We've talked about people that nothing happened to them. So except you have an extra life or extra battery that you can put in your heart that will revive you, then you can go funny on them. But if not, then just be as courteous as you can. Now let me round off with the guy. You know what I did? I said, can I see your superior? The superior came, and that one was like, what's this? Just go. He didn't allow me to go. By this time, all my wealth, everything was on the floor. Now the next thing was like, okay, what will you do? Just settle. I said, okay, what do you mean by settle, sir? He said, yeah, just do something. He said, I said, okay, give me specific. What do you want? Now the mistake I made was I told him I'm going to catch a flight. So he was trying to delay me that he will play ball. So you read the story. Let's take this.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning. This is Ahmed calling from Musafejo in Ogun State.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Ahmed.
Have you an experience?
All right. Listening to a lawyer there.
Aye, he's saying hello to you.
One thing I want to note is that they always say that bail is free, bail is free. But anybody that enters our police station today must drop something before they leave here. Either you are there to report or you are there as a complainant, or whichever way, you must drop something. And all our leaders are watching this happening. Youth are just using initiatives to handle the situation. Most times when you visit them, they will tell you, go and bring this, go and bring that. Please advise police chiefs to visit stations and control their boys. The extortion is too much. It's just too much. We can't bear it any longer. That was how they started in the north. Boko Haram, police were there. Before police stations at the north was invaded, they saw the signals coming. In Lagos, in Ogun, they started doing all sorts of crimes in stations. Let their guys visit and see what is going on. God will help us.
That's another angle entirely. Talking about
a quick one on that. I will tell you severally. I deal with the police. I deal with all those law enforcement people, apart from going to court. And I've been at a police station severally. At least I can recall 3 or 4 times. I saw people hawking bail bonds at the police station, and they were buying with their money. The policeman bought bail bonds and all other stationery they use with his personal money.
What?
I was there live. I kid you not. I tell you, they brought it to them. Now that is a top problem, because the police is supposed, the average police station, the divisional police station should have all these things supplied from the headquarters, whether state headquarters or national headquarters, whichever way they coordinate. But they don't have those things. So if a policeman has bought this thing with his money and you use the same thing to get bail, come on. It's just common sense. I'm not holding forth for them, but I'm telling you what I've seen. So it's a holistic problem that maybe we declare state of emergency on policing and police affairs, and we now look at how to actually get. Somebody talked about training. You need to train the average, like you said. Now you have a dreadlock, it doesn't make you a fraudster, but that is the stereotype that the police has given. Now, so in dealing with them, you have to be
training and retraining.
They need training, they need retraining, they need all these things. Because look at SARS. Every day they kill people. Every day we see videos go viral. And they still come up with different things. And so all this one that, imagine you being arrested and you say, I know my right, I will not talk. By the time they slap you twice, you talk. If I once slap, the talk will start coming out. So that's why, but we must advise citizens that be cautious to them. They're people's fathers too. They're people. I go out of my way to drop things for police, because I mean, this man staying all night, all these things. People, I know people. I have like I have like a senior uncle, Dr. Ogbete. He's gone to police. He's a doctor. He will go there, do medical checks for them, and that's where they discover that some of them have some ailments that they never knew they had. So sometimes too, let's be nice to police. Maybe if we show them love, they will reciprocate.
The training part can never be overemphasized. I mean, we have to look at the dynamics and the evolution of the way things have become now, especially with the young techies we have around, and who have to do on a daily basis, have to move from wherever their co-hub centers, move home, back and forth.
Most of them don't have a physical office.
Let me drop this with you. There's something, I think it was late Pastor Bimbo Odukoya that said it, that in every man there's a beast, there's a king. The one you talk to is the one that will come, that will respond to you. The craziest of policemen, even the drunk ones, you can talk to the king in him. Don't go rash on the police. It will be to your detriment. You will not come out tops. So our young people need to know this. Just show them a bit of courtesy. Even the craziest of them, somehow something will spark in him and it will just allow you to go. If you see a drunk policeman, if you see a frustrated policeman, and you come out at him stating your right, some of these people are not educated. I've been to a station where I was speaking English, I was dressed like this, the guy told me, get out. You know, I just read the thing that this is the first. I could say, why would you tell me that? If he shoots me, I won't be here.
So for how long are we going to keep up with this?
As long as there are still...
We have sick people around, people who are frustrated.
As long as we still have the mad elements amongst them, we will have to manage them.
So what do we do to bring
to the government? Okay. The government has a responsibility. I've talked about the citizens' end. You be cautious and be prayerful that you will not see Akuba. But at the same time, the government has to come in and actually look into this. Most times, government don't do anything until their own words or children get affected. Then that's when they come up with reforms and reviews. But we need constant review, we need constant reforms. But on the part of the citizens, show the police some love. Don't look at the bad side of them. Just whatever thing you could do, then be courteous. You can never go wrong showing courtesy.
Now, before you go, very quickly, okay, we'll take some messages. But before you go, President Muhammadu Buhari has brought back the Police Service Commission, you know, and the leadership of the commission and the leadership of the police. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Tinuke. I'm calling from Surulere.
Okay, Tinuke, we are listening.
Yes. I want to, but my son goes abroad. There was a Nigerian conversation. He was in Uber. There was a car van in front of him. They stopped him in the Uber and told him to come out. They took his phone, put it in their own van. They put him in their own van. He was bright enough to tell the Uber driver to follow him. They carried him down, took his phone. What do? They took his ID card. He's a master's student abroad. He got out ID card. He was not afraid. He said, why you have? He said, there are 3 of you with guns. Why shouldn't I be afraid? They said, what are you doing? He asked me my ID card. I'm on holiday. What do you want me to do? Why are you carrying me? Have I done anything to you? He said they drove him round and round and round. They did not give him access to call anybody. After like 15 minutes, they dropped him and said he should go. They just wasted his time.
No.
Let's listen to the
it was an attempt.
So look at
an attempt at extortion. I told you they will waste your time. The guy who knew I was going to catch a flight and didn't allow me to go knew that by the time I would rather, like you miss your flight. So that all that one is an attempt at extortion. What should they do that to you? Please, I tell everybody, be as courteous, be as polite as you can.
He was polite. He didn't even say anything to them.
At the end of the day, you said they dropped him.
At the end of the day,
they allowed him to go.
So let him go eventually. He didn't even have money to give them.
People have died in such circumstances where you go rash and then because it's a point for you to be frustrated that why are you taking me to? You got me off an Uber and put me in your rickety vehicle,
driving me around.
I've shown you my ID card, I've done everything. There's cause for you to be frustrated, but the best, because we're dealing with unreasonable people, if they go low, you have to raise the bar.
We have unreasonable people carrying guns and policing us.
Unfortunately, that's the situation we found out.
So if you don't have it well planned out that, okay, I'm going to be accosted by police and I would need to, play game with, according to the extortion.
I will not.
I don't want them to waste my time. What do? I have a flight to catch and I don't have anything
to tell people to give them money.
I really just don't understand.
Wisdom is profitable.
Okay, you keep saying that. Let's take this call.
Whatever wisdom says.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's the name and where are you calling from?
I can't hear you.
What's your name and where are you calling us from? Aziz, from where? Oshodi.
Okay, Aziz, we are listening.
Go ahead, please.
Aziz from Oshodi.
We can hear you. Continue.
Oshodi. Yeah, this has been times without number. This very scenario has been times without number. It has happened to me myself. Because you will be going, police will harass you, then you show them your ID card. The first thing they throw your ID card away.
Yes,
people harass you. What do you want them to do with your ID card? Let me search your bag. Then they search your bag. Okay, good. You search your bag. You ask me to open the laptop. I open the laptop to you. Then you see what's there. What do you use all this for? Sorry, I'm a field engineer, a telecom engineer. You check and you said, okay, sorry. They are not asking me back for the ID card to throw away that I should identify myself. I gave you my ID card the first day. I didn't want what are you trying to tell me? Are you telling me I threw the ID card away? Imagine such a scenario. Whereas the son in his cables and other things, you know, I'm going to use on site, including my children and my dad. What did you expect me to do to such a policeman?
Still be polite. You can never run out.
What did you expect?
I'm responding to you. Still, it's
there's no amount of way you can talk to them. They would rather listen to you. At the end of it, you will see them. Look at this very airport road here. Look at this very airport road initially here. It has been with the car Uber driver. If you should see you being a young guy, or anyhow, they will have to stop the Uber driver. They take you to the station. They won't even listen to you. They will take you up to the station. Then after them, they will not start touching your phone, touch you and everything you have with every other guy. Why is it supposed to be like that?
Aziz, please drop the call so that you can listen to him via TV.
At that level, the first thing you have to do, if you have access to your phone, politely tell them that you have a lawyer. They should allow you to call.
Even when
some will, and if they want to take
some will. When the law tells them to allow you.
The moment you, some will. I think we're dealing with, you know, the premises, we're dealing with unreasonable people. You don't want to lose your life.
So you need psychology.
It's life. If I'm going to lose my hair, if they'll cut off my dread, I can still make a fuss. But if my life will be gone, then I would do what is necessary or what wisdom says at that point.
Which is profitable to the right.
One, be polite. Then two, I think you were talking about how to remedy this. One of the things, programs like this, fantastic. See the way calls are coming in. I know if we go on 2 hours, calls will come in for the next 3 hours. Now, but another thing is this. Maybe you bring police on board too. The police PRO, they know this thing.
Yes.
They are aware of this.
There's a viewer here telling you that you are over-pampering the police. Were they not trained with taxpayers' money? They owe us politeness.
These ones, you know, they're trained. You know, there's something they call in Yoruba a kogba. They train you and you refuse to collect the training. So that's the kind of police we have. I'm not over-pampering. I'm just rooting for safety.
You're finished there,
so this is you can't say they're not training them. They go for training. But you see also the harsh economic realities also. But they are not the only one in this harsh economic.
The Police Service Commission in all of this, you know, I know they have a role to play in all of this.
They are not playing the role.
They are busy fighting, you know, supremacy battle.
IG
is fighting the chairman of the commission. The commission is fighting.
So you are now blaming this one collecting money for
do we have
I still don't understand you, Mr. Shivora.
I think I know where you're coming from. I understand you perfectly. My worry is how long are we going to put up with this?
I can come here and tell you about law. The law says this, the law says that. If it's not like that, it's academic. If you get, I deal with police every day. I will not tell you to give police money, but wisdom is profitable to die. If it will save your life, life is the ultimate hope.
Okay, Mr. Shifora, I don't know if Oladile Oshotiglover had ever been aroused by the police at any point in time, but I know he's also a tech-savvy guy apart from sports. Dele, good morning.
Morning, Obadi. How are you?
Good morning, Dele.
Hi, Rev.
Have you had any experience with the police as regards what we are talking about?
Any young man.
Maybe
men are
stories like that that you want to share.
First things first, let me say hello to my friend on your left. Delor, how are you?
My brother, very well.
That's a
I'm going to say
polite
it in pidgin because I have a problem with you this morning. I work for you. You be learning boy, you come here, come the form. I will come as a bill.
Let's stay alive.
Baba, let's leave it at that. He has given me words of wisdom. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Be polite, always polite. You never run out of politeness. You never go wrong with being polite.
You never go wrong.
All right, Master Shibura, thank you very much for coming on the program this morning, and we hope to see you some other time. All right, Dealers of the Global, October 13, Nigeria will be filing out against Brazil in Singapore, and a lot of people are, you know, looking forward to that particular match. What do we expect from that match? What should we expect?
Are you one of the people looking forward to that match?
Dele, I support Nigeria, you know, that's my team, the Super Eagles. Even when Dele should be global.
That match.
Of course, that's my team.
Okay. People look forward to the match between Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire yesterday. Female football. Do you know what happened?
Well, what did happen, Dele? I didn't see that.
We drew 1-1. It means that the Super Falcons are not going to Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. It's unheard of. We're not going. I had love for that team. We're not going.
The same guys that were owing salaries, you know, allowances and the rest of them.
But not talk that one. No.
We have to be polite.
And you expect them to put up, you know, sterling performance.
Anyway, they say to whom much is given, much is expected.
But to whom much is not given. Nothing is expected.
Make do with it. I'm talking about the game which comes up on Sunday, 1 p.m. Nigerian time, between Nigeria and Brazil. All things being equal, keeping our fingers crossed, Nigerians are optimistic that we might get the better over the Brazilian national team. But hey, the Brazilian national team has players like Neymar. So
we have Chukwueze.
We have who?
We have Chukwueze.
I called Neymar, you called Chukwueze.
We have Aribu. We have Chukwueze.
Aribu. Yes, FMU.
Huh?
Aribu is in newsroom. Stop saying this thing. Newsroom, Aribu.
Don't come here and drop names thinking that you are going to threaten us with those big names. We have teams of 11 players each.
Today on Sports Plus, there's going to be a lot of comparing and contrasting, so you just look forward to it. That's all I have to say.
Is it make around?
No, but Wale Scott is around.
I trust Wale as much as
I trust Wale.
So you have his loads this morning. All right, then let's allow you to take us through the world of sport.
All right, guys, thank you very much, Oba and Romelia. I saw Oba the other day. I won't say why I saw him, but he understands what I'm talking about. He's a member of a certain place. Welcome to Sports Plus Today's edition. What did I say?
National. I removed my mic, you know.
I said I saw you at the stadium.
I had to wear my mic again.
At the stadium.
Arumelia was laughing.
I now know a lot of your secrets. No,
Dele and I were at the stadium.
Yes.
You know, Testing Balogun Stadium. And Dele never knew that I was in that, you know, place. I sat in the crowd. And Dele was busy. Don't let me expose your national team. Dele, take us to the world of sports.
Once again, welcome back to Sports Flash. My name is Dele Glover. I have this one paper in front of me, which is Sports in Life. Sports in Life says Paul Pogba battling to be fit for what? The clash between Manchester